Good morning. It is February. We're in Mexico. The weather is less than Mexican, rainy, cloudy, chilly, and we are doing this video series, but this is a little interruption in the video series because I saw this post in a WhatsApp chat group that I'm in, and it really caught my attention and it made me have a lot of thoughts. So you have not heard this yet, and I would like to hear your reaction. This was a post on Reddit. The post says, I am still in contact with a number of high-ranking individuals and a couple are privileged to things before it is published. I was aware of beard changes a year before it happened and the non-recording of hours. It is being discussed to make the blood issue a conscience issue and no blood cards. A person that does have blood will not have his position in the congregation removed or be disassociated/disfellowshipped. He or she will not have to or be pressured to discuss their decision. They will not be asked. The hospital liaison committees will be dissolved. Regards disfellowshipping, they are going to discuss Jubilee years and how Israel had these. People convicted of crimes, property that was sold, people that were enslaved, free people all became as they once were. A great reset. Land went back to owners. People living in cities of refuge became free again. The society is going to technically reinstate all disfellowship people very soon. The Jubilee year concept will be the reason for this. What reinstated people do is their business. The Jubilee year is because they feel the end is very near and all people should have a second chance. Families will be encouraged to reinstate communications with disfellowship people and embrace them as family. It will be an outward show of forgiveness to us all and designed to show the media and the government that the Borg, the organization, is not so bad, and so as not to lose any more charitable status. The real reason is they are losing too many people. The organization now has a terrible reputation for breaking families up and letting kids die. They are looking at a 10-year program of massive change. They know they will lose some, but gain many. They have been given marketing guidance. People have short memories and will forget the blood and disfellowshipping issues. Child abuse is to be recorded to authorities immediately, as it always should have been. They have been and are in a stage of rebranding themselves for the next 10 years. The organization has been looking at pages like this and bloggers to see what XJW's left for and what it is that people don't like. Then modify slowly to what people want. Watch this space. Remember how Blockbuster Video lost to Netflix? The advisors to the organization have discussed this real event of how Blockbuster lost to Netflix, why, and the events surrounding it. This complex metaphor has been used with the governing body to show it needs to change or die. The real reason Anthony Morris was kicked off of his position was he didn't want this change. I could see that. I mean, this is all hearsay, of course. Nothing to do with buying whiskey. He left, but the organization didn't say that. Watch this space. If you don't believe it, that's fine. Time will tell, won't it? Things might change. I can only inform you on what has been discussed. What would bring you back, if anything? What are your thoughts on these proposed changes? I have a lot of thoughts, but I want to hear yours first after hearing that. Would you
I'm
go
shocked.
back?
I can't imagine it.
No, let's say that they did all these things, that they have this Jubilee year. If you want a blood transfusion, it's nobody's business. No more shunning. No more two-witness rule. We'll call the police if your kid is molested. Would you go back?
There's still the issue that they are making the rules and putting themselves in the place of Jesus.
And that was my absolute first thought. The biggest reason why I could never go back to Watchtower is, number one, nowhere in that, nor in their history, have you ever seen an apology. Look at how they treated Ray France.
That's very good.
They never apologized. Sure, they gave him, what, $10,000 of hush money because maybe they have like 1% of a conscience, but no apology. And more importantly than that is they are still continuing to put themselves in the seat of Christ, claiming that they are the mediator to God. And just listen to us. I mean, we had that experience when we were in Mexico City, and we saw several groups of cart witnessing Jehovah's Witnesses. And when I first left Watchtower, I would get really nervous, like, oh, how should I present myself? Should I pretend to just be a Christian, having never been affiliated with Jehovah's Witnesses? Should I come out right away and say, I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, and this is why? And now I really don't. I'll say a little prayer and just start talking. And let me collect my thoughts.
I remember with that threesome by the cart, that the lovely young lady, and all three looked like very clean-cut, good people. And she said, are you a Jehovah's Witness? And I said, not anymore.
Yeah.
The honesty came out of my mouth.
So back to the point, John chapter 14, verse 6, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, not a governing body, not a pope, not a pastor, not a human. And he said the programmed response, God has always had an organization. And because there was a bit of a language barrier, I wasn't able to ask in Spanish, like, where was that organization? And submit any year you want. The 12th century, the 10th century, the 8th century, and that's why they need 1914. So even if they rebrand and get rid of 1914, they have basically eliminated themselves out of your spirituality. And so I personally would never return, because once you have tasted Christian freedom, once you have been let out of jail, even if the door is open that you can go back and forth, why would I want to sleep in jail? And all those relationships that were 100% conditional on me having the same beliefs and nodding my head yes and just regurgitating the paragraph in the Watchtower, all of those people, they were not there when your husband died, when my dad died. They couldn't have cared less if I had harmed myself because of mental health issues. It was a different life. And if they change the rules and make it this Jubilee year, which isn't even that creative, again, it's Jehovah's Witnesses thinking that they're Israel.
I definitely reacted to that.
Which is insulting to real Jews, but
why go back to the Hebrew scriptures?
And it's all about them just wanting money. I think they're realizing that they don't get to have control over human lives and money, and so they would settle for money because that is their God. Their God is not the father of the world and the universe. It is money, so that they can live in their green tower in Warwick and make movies. And
well, word of caution, we don't know if this person knows.
No, it's all hypothetical, let's just say. But the beard thing, the no recording time, if someone had told you 2 years ago that they were going to change that, would you have believed it?
Oh,
in other words, I
not.
wouldn't. In other words, I wouldn't put it past them that they're. I mean, they obviously did a whole big rebranding thing when they went from being called the Society to jw.org, because the Society definitely sounds overtly culty, and yeah, they're always having to rebrand themselves because their foundation is not on truth and freedom, and so that's why they have to.
I found it very interesting that the guy thinks the reason for Anthony Moore's leaving is that he didn't want these changes.
Oh, I could totally see that, because he was super old school, hard-nosed.
Tough.
Go up in flames.
Wow.
But yeah, I'll just repeat myself one last time, and then we'll record the next part of my mother's red flags. Is once you've been let out of jail, why would you ever go back? even if your conditional friends are all in there having their JW parties. I would rather be alone in the wilderness with Jesus and be allowed to love everybody than in that prison.
I just want to be really free of obsessing over Watchtower and what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's why I haven't made videos for so long, but
No, I wanted to clear my thinking, and I think I said it to a friend in a comment that came on these videos, that I want to repeat that I was doing this more for me, and why didn't I see some things, and what happened to my mind?
yes. See you later.